Self-sabotage. I feel like I talk about this all the time, so I guess that's a message to you guys and girls and everybody out there that it is so freaking common. So don't try and cover it. Don't try and hide away from it. Don't try and dismiss it. Acknowledge it and try and work through it bit by bit. Now, the thing is, self-sabotage, a lot of the time, it comes from comparisons. It comes from expectations that are either unrealistic or we don't have the tools yet for it right now. And tools, not just tools in terms of physical tools, but like the mental tools. Like we haven't yet built up our adaptability, our resilience. We haven't yet got ourselves to a point where we are nourishing ourselves. We are doing things out of self-love. I did a live video in my group the other day, and it was touching on who you surround yourselves with. Like, if you're going to surround yourselves with high-performing people and really fit people that you just keep comparing yourself to and feeling shitty against, you can shift your perspective. Like, most of the time, people would say, just block it out. Now, if these people are portraying something that is false or unrealistic, or they're not showing, like, they're not real. If they're not real, that's fine. But if it's if it's social media in terms of like photos on Facebook, photos on Instagram, and them being a certain way, like if you don't personally know their personality, you don't talk to them, then yeah. But I'm saying, like, in a social group, in a Facebook group, even in any setting where you can actually talk to these people, see what they do behind the scenes, like actually seeing all of that stuff, not just pixels on a screen. If it's that, then yeah, okay, cool, block them. Don't put yourself into an environment where you're only seeing that end product. But if you're in an environment where you can actually get the motivation, get yourself into that community, like for example, if someone that was unfit wanted to join a soccer team, but the soccer team down the road from their house was too advanced for them, so because they're not yet fit, they just never ended up joining the soccer game. No, you'd start with what you have, with where you're at, and you don't compare your chapter 1 to other people's chapter 20. You don't need to put you don't need to put yourself into competitions. You don't need to put yourself into games. You just learn the skills, you learn the tackles, you learn the ball games, the foot games, all that stuff. You learn it until you know it well enough to then put yourself into the playing field. But until then, you can still practice with them, you can still learn the techniques. And a lot of the time, these people that are further ahead of you can actually serve as some form of motivation, some form of inspiration. So that's usually one form of self-sabotage. The other one is living in the past or living in the future, whether it's a fear of the future, whether it's the identity you hold. You cannot see yourself living the dream life that you want to live. You cannot see yourself being anything other than, let's just say, that fat chick or that unfit chick, or that chick that just never gets her goals, the chick that always gives up. Like, if you hold yourself to that identity, that is the identity that you're going to live into the future. But if you start shifting your perspective and putting in the steps, the action steps, the doing, and keeping it consistent and persistent and through discipline, and setting up the skills and habits to make shit easier, because shit is always going to be hard. Like, if you ask me, what year are we in? 2019. If you asked me even 6 years ago, I think 6 years ago, 2013, because I think that was my second year of uni, or was it that my third year of uni? That was my third year of uni. If you asked me my third year of uni, if I could ever see myself where I am now, I'd probably laugh in your face. In fact, if you asked me if I could see myself deadlifting and powerlifting the way that I am, I'd laugh in your face too. 3 years ago, if you asked me if I could see myself being where I am with powerlifting, I'd laugh in your face. I used to freaking mock people. Well, not mock, but I used to mock the sport. I'm just like, that's stupid. Why would you want to get fat and lift weights? And that's exactly why I'm trying to portray the image that just because Like, because powerlifting should be strength to mass ratio. Like, it shouldn't be just get as big as you can to lift as much as you can, because that isn't healthy and that isn't doing things out of love for your body. I want to portray health and fitness as one, and I want to show people that you can get strong and stay lean, but it comes through consistency. And if you are disciplined enough and you put in the efforts, and you, like, it doesn't have to take an hour a day. It can take 30 minutes a day, and not even every day. Like, changing your weight comes down to your food. Changing your body shape comes down to your weight training. But if you're at a position where you need to lose a shitload of weight first, and that comes down to the diet, but you need to earn the dieting. Not everybody is in a position to just start a diet. Like, I've had some girls come to me that have been chronically dieting for ages, and they're obviously not in the right place to diet because their chemical systems, their hormonal systems, their metabolic systems are all fighting against them. And you can't really take anything more out of pretty much a fucked body. Like, there's nothing to take. So you need to build up that body, make it have reserves to then take from the reserves, so then you actually start seeing changes. And a lot of the time, if you're just focused on the number on the scale, or just focused on numbers and figures and measurements and all this shit without focusing on the whole picture as one, you're just going to be a smaller version of yourself, like a skinny stick noodle. And I touched on this in a previous podcast, and I'm going off on all tangents because this is a topic that could be covered over a gazillion different tangents. Like, if you're someone that comes from that mindset, it's that identity that you've attached yourself to. And then if you've come from a place where you're constantly letting yourself down, or constantly trying to fight a battle of, I can't make my way through to something because something always pops up to throw me off. It's like you're always waiting for that other shoe to drop, and you're not giving yourself a chance. But then there is another form of sabotage where it's all black and white. It's all or nothing. If you're not doing everything 100%, you feel like there's no point. If you're holding such high expectations to be so good and impress everyone, accept yourself in mini steps and reward your mini wins, and realize that sometimes just getting your foot out the door is a freaking massive success for you, because that is the, like, showing up is probably the hardest thing for many people. So I guess what I'm trying to say is just be kind to yourself. Don't put so much pressure on yourself, and visualize the life that you want to live, the day that you want to live. Like, something that I've been visualizing lately, which comes in two different forms in terms of what I'm trying to do, is I'm a little bit okay with sacrificing a shitload now to put work into the foundations, into building the business, into putting in, like, I wish I could sleep more and have more time in the day, but I don't. But I'm trying to do all I can to build everything I need for my coaching, for Team Ruby. And I want to do that now, so that when I get to the place I want to be, which I'll explain soon, I have more free time, I have more space, I have more mind space to then live the life that I want to live, without constantly worrying if I have all my systems set up. So I've been like, I got my recipe books out, I'm developing more structured stuff within Team Ruby so things are easier for people to find. I'm doing more live videos in the group so that people can check out the live videos and just stuff like that. Like, I'm just developing things to make sure that I have a really strong team, because a strong team is an empowered team, and that will in turn help grow my team. And by having a bigger team, that you're like, I'm always like, I have all the systems there to always give everyone as much as they give to me. Like, if they want to be meticulous over numbers, I'll be meticulous over numbers, that type of thing. And they're there to motivate each other. There's a lot of posts and support in the group. Like, I want it to be the biggest support group, and I'm putting in all of that effort now. So then my vision by the end of next year is to be able to live in Melbourne, hopefully by St. Kilda Beach. And I want to wake up, go about my usual routine. I'm obsessed, like, I'm very simple. I wake up, I make an egg white I don't know whether you guys do it, but we do it. Like, I'm freaking Maltese, but it's just how we, I don't know. Apparently it wasn't a thing because I kept getting asked, how the hell do you put egg whites in soup? But I make an egg white soup for my breakfast with kale and tomatoes and a whole shitload of spices and soy sauce and all this other stuff. I have a bowl of that in the morning with whatever else I have and my coffee, obviously. Go to the gym, and then my vision is to then come back home, eat a bowl of fruit salad, then take my dog along the beach for a walk. That is my dream life. And then come back home and start my work then, because my ideal day is to start functioning at my laptop by 12 o'clock, because I'm usually going all around the clock anyway. And that way I'm more productive within those hours. I can give as much value as I can within those hours. And then I can do my phone calls with my clients and all that other stuff. Like, I can visualize it. And being able to visualize it, it gives me value to my whys. It gives me value to why I'm putting in the effort I am now into my business, why I'm putting in the effort I am now into looking after my body, into looking after all this other stuff. Because to me, going to the gym now, eating healthy, it's habit. It's second nature. It makes me feel good. Good food equals good mood. It makes me perform good. It makes my mental clarity that much better. So putting value and seeing how you feel in the future, like seeing how you feel, confidence, amazingness, like seeing it and actually believing that you can get it, and then taking the action steps, that is what keeps you going. That is what gives you the internal motivation. That is what stops you from throwing in the towel, because it is your journey, no one else's journey. Stop comparing yourself to other people's highlight reels. Stop comparing yourself to other people's chapter whatevers when you don't even know their backstory. You don't know what it took for them to get to where they are now. You don't even know what it took me. Well, most of you probably don't even know what it took me to get to where I am now. Most of you probably don't even know my childhood. Like, you don't know people's backgrounds. You don't know people's environments. You don't know the demons that people carry. You only know what they tell you and what's portrayed on social media. Okay? So I hope this helps. And if there's anything else that I can ramble on about, just let me know. I like doing my rambles, and I like being able to motivate you to live a better life and to have a higher quality of life long term that makes you feel good within your skin, within your mind, within your relationships, and just everything, really. Okay? Love you and leave you. Mwah.